think that this whole idea, like you were saying, helping people find their true self and expressing their true self, it's so important these days.
It is so important, and most of us, you brushed up against this, but most of us, we have a true self, and each of us, we have something that is important to us. We have a core value system. We have a genuine, authentic process of dealing with the world around us. And most of us have really muffled or stifled or muzzled ourselves in the process of growing into an adult. We've learned how to actually become someone that we're not in order to protect the person that we are. Now, when you stop and look at that, there's something so insane about that. There's something so absurd, preposterous, and ludicrous about pretending to be someone you're not in order to protect the person that you are. Now, we have done that, and we learned how to do that when we were very young in school. We learned how to do it socially. We learned how to do it like you said, in order to be liked, in order to belong, in order to make sure that we weren't being too disruptive, in order to stay on the island, essentially. And we learned how to do that in such a way that there was like a crack in the cement that got created. And the crack in the cement has gotten larger and larger over time. And most of us as adults have never really gone back to repair that crack. So we continue to say, be, and do things that are not consistent with our core self. The first thing to get about that is be kind to yourself for having developed yourself in that way. Most of us know where we are not aligned with what we are saying or doing, but we do it anyway. We know when that happens. How do we know? Because we had to actually design that way of being. That wasn't, so we actually had to design it, hang on to it, do it, reapply it, make sure we know who we told what to so that we could stay consistent with them. We had to give up on our own sense of truth so that we could make up whatever manifested change we made up about the way that we look at things, and then keep it consistent so that somehow we look like we're aligned with ourselves. Now, in that process, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. There is a whole lot of efforting that went into doing that. And we can be kind to ourselves because all of us have done it. We can be kind, we can be gracious, we can be accepting, we can be forgiving, we can be compassionate with ourselves and allow ourselves to walk into the humanity that includes that particular characteristic. When we do that, we then can see that even if we're not 100% our real self, we can take incremental steps towards being our real self by saying one more thing that's consistent with who you are to your friends or your family or your colleagues. Like taking incremental steps towards speaking your true voice. Because when you speak your true voice, it is addicting. People love it. People get totally inspired by it. And you open up the gates for the people that you're with to actually speak their true voice as well, which is a gift to everybody in the room. Ultimately, when you are aligned with yourself, then you open up the alignment of another person in that presence. And the tuning fork that you are, the resonating harmony that you are, begins to resonate harmonically with other people in the room. And that's where human connection actually gets made. When that human connection actually gets made, right at the heart of that is healing. That's where healing happens.